Okay, with Kiarra Moore, the Town Without Laws, 3 minute animation film with a little bit of comedy, a little bit of Western genres mixed in. Really great animation. Congratulations. So this was done. You're based in Minnesota, right?
Yep, Minnesota.
And this was done at a school in Minnesota.
Yes, Minneapolis Institute of Art and Design. It's right, I believe it's the MIA, right next to the art museum that we have here.
Yeah, are you based? Are you from Minnesota originally?
Yes.
Gotcha. So as we're doing this podcast, you don't have to say anything, but it's in the Minnesota is in the news. So
Oh yeah. There's a ton of stuff going on. I
we
am
as a
so
Canadian,
crazy.
I can give you the offer that we can make you the 11th province if you want.
Yeah, I'd like that.
You do have the winter atmosphere as a Canadian, so you're kind of Canadian in your own way, I guess, right?
Yeah, basically, like people call us diet Canadians, or I like to mess around when people are going to Duluth and gift stores. I'm just like, "Hey, welcome to Minnesota!" Because they
Yeah.
think that they're just like, "What?" They make fun about our accents.
So that's kind of offensive on my level, on your level. They kind of offended both of us. This is by
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, I've been to Minneapolis. I think it's a great city, so we're on your side. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about your film, The Town. So you did this at the is it MCAD? Is that what they call it? The MCAD?
Yep, MCAD.
Okay, great film. Was this kind of your thesis project, or
Yes, this is my thesis project. It's also something that I've been working on for a couple years. I made like a comic webtoon of I think like 85 chapters of this thing. It's
oh
a
wow, okay.
specific little yeah, it's a little passion project of mine I've been working on for a bit.
So I'll give you the synopsis that you
Mhm.
you told us. It's like a ragtag trio of criminals are tasked by the devil to hunt down an outlaw trying to outrun his debt.
Yep.
So this is your story. This is your baby. Wouldn't you do you remember when you first kind of came up with this idea?
I made it, I want to say, when I was in my other college at that time. I had gone to Normandale Community College, and I had drawn Boone, the character, first. And then I was like, I kind of like this design. Let's see what I can go with. And I started writing and looking at a bunch of different movies. And then I got really, really into Westerns and kind of the messed up history of Westerns of like that place is pretty hectic, I'd say.
So what Western curious from your generation? What Western films did you watch?
So this is really interesting. A lot of this is kind of my personal thing. My grandparents used to watch the Andy, is it the Andy Dick show?
The Andy
Like
Griffin Show?
yeah, yeah, Andy
Yeah.
Griffin show. Used to watch the Andy Griffin show, Gunsmoke. Used to
Okay.
watch all those really old, uh, black
Bonanza?
and white. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was something that I grew up with all the time. And then they also liked Boomerang when that was around with all the
Yeah.
cartoons. So for me, it gave me a sense of like nostalgia. So to be fair, I liked watching really old Westerns, and then I've been, getting as I've gotten older kind of like the really how would I say, the really pop in your face into those ones, kind of like Quentin Tarantino films, or like of course the classic of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Unforgiven? That's probably my favorite.
I have not.
Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
I recently watched for the first time Tombstone.
Yeah. Okay.
It was crazy. I've heard a lot of people say it was really good, and I watched it and I was like, dang, I can't believe it took me forever to, get it, but it also takes forever to find Tombstone. That
So
isn't
the
gonna be like,
interesting
I
thing
want.
about that is that so it's based on Wyatt Earp, and they made a movie called Wyatt Earp with Kevin
Oh shit.
Costner within the year, and then so that was Kurt Russell, and then they made Wyatt Earp. Yeah,
Oh
filmed
sick.
basically the same year. Yeah.
Oh sick. I'd
Yeah.
love to watch it. I'm trying to get as much Western influence as I can get. I've been just kind of chowing down and consuming
Write this down. Right. Watch Unforgiven. It's a
Unforgiven.
fantastic film. Yeah. I just lost
What
your
is-
video there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was gonna pull it up on my thing for a sec.
You got excited there. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to write it down
Yeah.
on my
It
my
won
note.
it won an Oscar for Best Picture back in the day. So
Oh, sick. Thank you.
Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman, classic actors. It's really got a nice moral story to it. It's great. It's Eastwood's best performance as well. So
Oh, sick. I'd love to. I'd love to get into that. I've been just watching some of them. Some of them, I'm like, wow, the editing is completely different because it's like they're super old. And from what I like gathered, they had to like sync the music and the people's voices differently because of
yeah,
how old the films were.
yeah, you're making me sound old. Yeah, it's the Steinbeck machine. They used to edit the film with like real film. They used to cut and splice the film.
Yeah, I've seen those ones before. Those are so cool. Worked a little on it on MCAD, but it's really hard to find a lot of like film like that. They're just
Yeah,
like, this is how we treat them or mess with them.
because your film does have, even though it's an animation, it does have a kind of filmic kind of vibe to it. Even the way you set it up with the beginning, you kind of have a film strip and right, you kind of wanted that kind of tone, I guess, right? In your
Yeah,
film.
definitely.
So did you do all the drawing in your film?
I want to say I did like 80% of it. I did have a little help. I think I credited some people. I did mainly the rough animation, the inking, and then I just hate coloring. That's why they're also black and white. So it makes it a lot easier. It's dink 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 easy because coloring is so tedious when it comes to animation for me at least.
We got some color in the film, right? So
Yeah, of course. The black and white is stylistic and also just because it makes it a hell of a lot easier because then you're like, I don't need 30 colors on this one character.
yeah, but it also serves the story too, right? It fits your story.
Yep, of course. It makes it look like it's supposed to be a rubber hose or rubber hose kind of styled Betty Boop black and white
Betty
and
Boop,
or
yeah,
like old
yeah.
kind of cartoon.
So, okay, so tell me about the kind of designing the characters, kind of the imagery. I'm assuming you kind of storyboarded everything to a T.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. I did storyboard everything. I did design the characters. Um, Characters are kind of interesting. I would say Jack is just as the square dude, little exclamation point. He's a teenager. I wanted him to be thinner, taller, kind of lankier. He's supposed to be kind of built on the everyman look. You
Mhm.
know, he himself. I was trying to do it within the 3 minutes, as you know, he's the moral compass. Hey guys, why do we gotta do this? This isn't right, guys. We shouldn't do that. He's the kid that is as an outlaw. They have accused him of a crime, so he himself is a little teenager trying to be like, "Hey guys, let's just not kill people." Then we got Boone, who's ragged. He was based on tons of different characters. A lot of them were based on I want to say kind of like the snarly kind of like different ones from I'd want to say like 2010s looking and or Betty Boop styled, and Jezebel's just the standard heartthrob. She's heavily based on Betty Boop.
Can I point out that I love your credits where you kind of you animate all the people who are involved in the film?
Yeah, I want to do that definitely. That's what I was like. I was like, that's
I've
the
never
least
seen
I
that
can
before.
do. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Like I know that one of them's a bear, so I'm assuming one of the like I think one of the character one of the what's the credit? The Andy
Uh,
Carey is the
yeah,
background. I'm assuming he's not a bear. So
he's not a bear. That is actually his Sona, and I thought it would have been funny because I was like I had asked all of them and I was like, "Hey guys, I would love to do a credit of you guys. Do you guys have Sonas or anything that you
yeah.
represent yourself or a handle?" And he's like, "I'm a bear." So I was like, "Ah, I'll just make it because they're all outlawified or all villainified, so they all look evil for the style.
Yeah.
So it's a guy in a bear outfit. If you could see, there's kind of like eyes in it. So he's like wearing a bear suit, or it could be a bear, could be a dude in a gigantic bear suit, who knows?
Yeah, it's great. That's fantastic. So, okay, so then you kind of storyboard. So how does you have to like get permission from your school to do this film? Like, what's the process?
So this is a thesis. Our thesis, they had told us, hey, this is gonna be your final project, and this is gonna be your thesis. We want it to be a minute. And I was like, that's not enough for me. I need 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then they're like, you're gonna kill yourself. And I'm like, nah, nah, nah. You don't know me. I got this. I could do this.
Yeah.
So we storyboarded it. Then I didn't have the voices originally, so I kind of did them myself, and I'm a horrible, horrible voice actor. So you could, hear me in the closet being like, "Hi guys, we got can't do this, please," because I'm like, I can't listen to my voice. I'm not a voice actor. So then we got the voices, got that timed, got tons of criticism where you edit it, tweak it, and so forth. And then once you get the okay, then they just kind of let you go loose. They give you a schedule, and you can kind of fill in your schedule yourself. Uh, I'm also really, really not the best at kind of like writing a schedule. I'll just be like, I will work on this film and I will get 3 shots done in a week. I won't tell you which shots,
Mm.
but they will be done.
Well, that's
And
somewhat of
yeah.
a schedule, right? Like as long as you keep up with it, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was like a lot of them was like, "Hey, what shots are you gonna work on today?" And I'm like, it depends on, my work and stuff. I might work on this shot, might work on this one. I'll work on it, I promise. And I want to say within the first month I got the okay. I had finished all of the backgrounds in like less than a month or so.
So it's a process, basically, in making this film.
Um, Storyboard, pre-production, design, of course, pre-production designs kind of tied together. Then it would be blocking. Then it goes rough animation, inking, coloring, compositing. That's usually how it goes, kind of like in those.
Gotcha. But then you got to do the sound design as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the compositing. I classify that as like compositing
Okay.
because then I use After Effects, so I'll take the After Effects file, drop it into Premiere, and then I'll tweak it and add some more sounds and stuff. Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
I forgot sound design.
you did the sound design yourself?
I did some of the sound design. I had friends who or I had a friend make some of the songs. They had made 3 songs and then the ending song. So they were actually his name is Charlie. He
Yeah.
does my sound,
So
like the
then
music at
for
least.
everybody who worked on the film from your school?
Nope. The lead, I think you could see the Brady Ritchie, the huge kind of character with the big fluffy
Yeah.
hair. That one
It's the voice actor, right? Yeah.
No, no, that one he was my colorist. That one was my boyfriend who helped me.
Okay.
And then the voices, I had found some of the voices on Discord, some of my Discord groups where they're like, I will help you out. I love this project. So it's been kind of a good portion of it has been from my school, but portions of it were also from other communities that had uh allowed me to be like, hey, I have your help? And they're like, yes, of course.
So you're obviously a very creative person. This is a nice. How did you like producing? Because it seems like you're just talking about producing, kind of bringing these people together to work on your vision. How'd you like that process?
Oh, I liked it a lot. It was really fun to communicate and talk to them, as well as like just trying to get an idea of them as like, hey, how do you like the project, what can I do. A lot of them I still talk to because I'm currently working on another film of these characters, but this one is going to be more of a pilot, so I still talk to Jack's voice actor, Boone's voice actor, and then I'm currently talking to Lou's voice actor, and Clint's voice actor and everyone. So a lot of it's just been pretty fun. I feel like it's, I've gained a lot of friends and gained a
Yeah,
lot of support, as well as just showing them like, hey, this is how the film is going and what would you do and stuff like that. It's always great. I really enjoyed it. The only downside is when it was at school is because it's college, you would just like message everybody on Discord and someone is like, hey, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm sorry I didn't look at your thing, but I've been at this project forever. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So it's completely different times because it's the college schedule.
So, but you've graduated, correct?
Yes, I've graduated.
So you're gonna stay in Minnesota?
Of course, right now, just because I'm gonna trying to find some gigs and some freelancing and stuff like that. If not, then I'm gonna just be working on my current pilot, and then I want to be able to pitch that, give that to the film festivals once this one has gone through, and kind of like release them at the same kind of like, times, thesis, then pilot.
So you're making a pilot of this concept.
Yes, this one's going to be more in depth about the actual town itself. Um, this one, it's called the Town Without Laws. The idea is that these are all criminals, and that the devil is the warden of this entire kind of town filled with these criminals, where people come, and it was very popular, and it's kind of like messed up to say, but it was very popular in the Wild West where, people would do some of the most deplorable things. Like people would be hung in the streets and that would be like, oh, that's just Sunday. That's just my regular Sunday or whatever. So they would go with these criminals and essentially they would be public entertainment where all of these are death games and they would get days knocked off their sentence if they survived. And it would be a form of rehabilitating them.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like the Hunger Games in a sense, maybe.
Kind of like Hunger Games, yeah, or like Westworld. My mom thought it was like
Westworld, yeah.
Westworld.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, but so you got something here. So do you think that you kind of want, ideally in an ideal world, you want this to be a TV series?
Oh, yes, I would love to have it be a series. I would like it on YouTube. If it's a TV series, I mean, I'd like that too. If not, I want to be able to work on this for a long time. I've worked on it in a comic form. I've done some smaller animations on my TikTok.
Yeah.
I got a couple that were pretty popular. I think like a lot of them really kind of spooked people because they were like, "Oh, it's a cute, it's a cute different art style." And then when you look at it, it kind of wah at you. You're like, "Whoa, it's a lot. There's a lot going on."
So how long is the pilot going to be?
That one currently, I want to say it's gonna be around 5:40 to 6 minutes.
Okay, so it'll be double the time with this one.
Yes, yes. More shots, as well as, a lot more dialogue, a lot more stuff going on. This one is gonna be that one of them is gonna be in a death game, so they have to survive that, which is gonna be tons of fun.
Yeah. So but you have like multiple kind of episodes in your head or like written
Oh
down, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Yes, I do. I do. I also have my other because I was working on that one. I'm trying to get the second season of the comic worked on. I already
Yeah.
have it written. It just takes forever because at that point you're like, am I gonna do the comic or am I gonna do the animation? And I usually, because I'm an animator, go for the animation.
Of course, go with animation. It stays forever too, right? So you get it all down and
Yeah.
the like tone wise, it is funny and it is kind of dark, right? So were you worried about the tone, like people kind of emotionally engaging to the film?
Um, yes and no. I kind of liked when it first was released in school, we have like a TV where a
Yeah.
bunch of students can actually watch it and they'll do it. So we had a group of people as I was setting up my exhibition where it has like all your stuff and all the
Yeah.
stuff that you've worked on. They were looking at it and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love the art style. This is so cute and so nice." And then they saw, that and they're like, "Wow." Like it kind of pulls people aside, but it also kind of grounds them. Like these do look like cartoon characters and stuff, but they're also kind of grounded to be very human, like they have that human element and or the good and bad, like the darkness a human has, as well as like
Yeah,
the good and team. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff. There was teamwork in that, but it also is like teamwork for what? Because it's like, the guy is,
yeah.
so
I like the touch of the one character having the explanation point on the eye.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. For some
Yeah,
reason,
that
I think
one.
it's a nice touch.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love that as well. It's supposed to be, so that one is like Jack was he's accused of a crime he didn't commit, and some guy did a little eye switch. So that's actually like his little in song, like little sign. It's like that's the criminal. He has the
Yeah.
exclamation point in the eye. Ah, it's a little
Gotcha.
sign or whatever.
Yeah. There like it's interesting where you're going doing a throwback to Westerns, but there's something modern and universal about it now. Like it kind of what's going on in the world. There's like maybe this is unconscious on your part, but there's some interesting kind of elements of today's society in your film.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to think. I mean, I'd like to have it be timeless because I mean, we all, in a way, at least, in America, we all started from the Wild West. Like that's where everything kind of like was, all right, this is the laws, this is what's gonna
Yeah.
go on. And then it branched out with it. So I wanted it to be kind of like blended of, hey, this is like an older time, but it's also current because it's
Yeah.
something that is still going on now.
Well, the people, I'm Canadian, so I'm not even American, but more Americans should study American history and like study like the presidential runs. Because if you think it's crazy now, which it is, it's like it's crazier than in my lifetime, right? In my 50-year-old
Yeah,
life. But it was crazy for a long time. Like if you go to the 1800s, after 70, 76, like America was like, it was nuts. And there were some
yeah.
lots of, yeah.
So wacky. So
Yeah.
much stuff too. It's like out of sometimes you kind of wonder like how are these people even like living at that point because it's just crazy, lawless. There's tons of disease going on. They have like, back then you could be like, hey, you want to have a cough, you have a toothache, we have opium, little
Yeah.
opium pills you could take, and you're like, what, you guys took that,
Yeah.
what?
Well, yeah, someone would get the fever and they would probably be dead, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, dead and stuff like that. You're just like, how did you guys even live that long?
but in terms of the political realm, it's like there's some pretty corrupt presidents
Oh
back in
yeah,
the day.
definitely.
Yeah.
And back then in the 1800s, as long as you didn't like, as long as it wasn't like written down, you could basically just get away with it. You're like,
Because
whatever.
there
Nobody's
wasn't
gonna,
as
I'm the
many checks and
president.
balances as there is now, but still, there's checks and balances, and the current administration seems to be getting away with murder. So literally, right? So
Yeah, it's
in
crazy,
Minnesota,
crazy.
yeah. So what's the reaction there? Like, are most people on the side of like the anti-ice, or like are there's some like I'm curious what the if I took a pulse of Minnesota, where would people's like what would the percentage of people who would be anti-ice, I guess, anti
I
what
feel
happened
like
with, yeah.
I feel like a good over half would be. I mean, I don't know too much personally, just
Yeah.
because it's kind of crazy. I've been laying low. I've had some friend tell me that there were ice outside their work and trying to like talk to people and get them after because they were just going after people and their looks, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of worried about it. I mean, just because of what I look like.
Yeah.
I'm mixed myself, but
Mhm.
I'm born in Minneapolis. I
Born and
so
raised, you
I'm
got
just like,
papers, right? Like,
yeah, I do
isn't it
have
crazy that
papers.
they
I do
want
have.
you to have papers with you?
That's the thing too. I work in Minneapolis, and I try not to like walk around too much in Minneapolis just because it's very crazy at night, and that's usually what where I work is like night shifts. So personally I just don't want to walk around with my papers, especially in a big city like that,
Yeah.
and
Isn't
have
that sad
something.
though? Isn't that
Yeah,
sad
you
for
shouldn't have to.
employers?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to.
Like that's just so sad. Like in 2025, 2026, that this is like that you feel unsafe in your own city that you grew up in.
Yeah, no, very. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah. So it's more than like, yeah, because like I'm just like, because obviously there's going to be, because I mean I think we can be in our own bubble. So I'm only seeing like people outraged at it because it was an outrage. It's fucking ridiculous that someone can think that that was a murder. Like I can say it publicly like right now, but I guess there's people who don't, right? Like in Minnesota, right? So who don't think that, right? So
Yeah, there's tons of stuff going on. I know that it's very political, and they're like I know that they had a couple where I worked at. I think they had like some protests going on as well,
sure.
going on with it. Um and it's just crazy because I feel like it's just a powder keg that's about to explode. There's going to be, more stuff going on and more just I hope that it doesn't like just exploding, and I just
Yeah.
don't. It's awful because I feel like so nobody should feel unsafe in their state, especially when
No.
you're a citizen. And even then, even if it's like stuff like that, you shouldn't have to feel scared in general just to be outside, just to exist.
No, it's just tying into your film, right? Where you have this lawless world that you created, and then like it's happening in your own backyard. It's nuts, right?
Yeah, no, crazy indeed. At that point, you're just kind of like, what's when art speaks or
Yeah,
reality speaks through art and vice versa. It's just
yeah,
crazy. I didn't realize how um to connected it was until then. It
yeah.
was just kind of insane.
It isn't because you were thinking you've been working on this for years. You didn't like you can't predict the future, right? So, but there's a lot of emotional tie-ins to what you did, what you just made. So that's
Yeah,
happening. Yeah,
it's sad to say, like in a way, like could even say that like a horrible thing is like history repeats itself, and even then, like something like an idea that like I had forever ago, and then it actually is like
yeah.
into like fruition. You're like, holy shit.
Well, I'll think of you and then just keep making movies. This is great. This is a great 3 minute short. It should get into every festival you submit to. It's amazing. So I wish you the best
I
of luck.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you
All right,
so much.
let's talk again when the pilot's done. I want to see it.
Oh, I'd love to show it. If you could, I think you have were you the one that emailed me? I could
Yeah, yeah.
always
Just
email
email me
you.
whenever you're ready. So
Oh, bet. Yeah, I already have. So far I've worked on it. I want to say for like 2 or 3 months, and I have 20% of it done and
okay.
24 frames per second.
So
It's
that
just
means
crazy.
in about a year, I guess 15 months. If you got 20% done in 3 months, if you keep the pace that you're at, we'll talk next year when it's done.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd love to.
Right? Because
Yeah,
80%,
yeah,
so yeah, 15 months, 20%, 3 months. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
I just did math in my head there. I spoke out loud. All right, let's
You
talk
are
again when the film's
way
done. I
better
wish you the
at
best of luck.
way better at math than I am. I can't do that. That's amazing power. It's superpower right there. Just be like, "Bzz, math, pew."
Like that. All right, let's talk again soon.
All right. So I'll talk again soon.